You know, some people drink reindeer urine. Hello and welcome to the Plan Zoo Experience. Today we'll be going over the reindeer, or as I will be calling it most of the time, the caribou. Yes, after 6 weeks of red animals, we finally get to change it up, but obviously we won't be rid of the color just yet. But that's a correlation I'd be surprised you weren't aware of. Before getting into it, let's run through some of the basics. These icebox bucks can be found in Alaska, almost every territory and province of Canada, Greenland, and the northernmost parts of Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia, as well as being introduced to Iceland. There are 6 subspecies that range in size from the smallest that live on Svalbard to the largest in North America, and those 6 would be the barren ground, woodland, forest, Greenland, Svalbard, and mountain caribou. The term caribou comes from the Mi'kmaq word meaning snow shoveler, and reindeer comes from the Old Norse word of horned animal. Now, since that's done, let's start with the evolution before I get into why certain Arctic dwellers enjoy a Heinz golden shower. So interestingly, the evolutionary path of the caribou seems to ping-pong back and forth, as the earliest cervids evolved in Eurasia as far back as 50 million years ago, and they would eventually cross into North America roughly 7 million years ago, connecting Russia with Alaska. Some then traveled into South America 3 million years ago when the Isthmus of Panama was formed, and this is where the ancient ancestor of all New World deer come from. Eventually, they would make their way back up to Beringia, where it started to reform 357,000 years ago, and as with the moose, they would return to Eurasia when the land of the free and the home of the kami would connect once again. May such tragedy never happen once more. Now, as for culture, we'll not only be going over peoples from around the world, but for groups with very unique languages, so have mercy. Turns out living in a place that has an entire season of absolute daylight tends to make for very strange dialects. So let's start with the hardest for an English speaker, the Inuit. Starting with the Gwich'in people of northern Alaska and Yukon, have the same reverence for the caribou as many of the Great Plains tribes had for the bison. And while they hold the animal as a keystone and symbolic creature, they are oddly not named after them, while the Kiwalirimuit. I'm so sorry. Fuck it. They're known as the Caribou Inuit. These people are from Nunavut, Canada, and also center their lives around the deer. And I'm so sorry. I tried to say that name at least 20 times, and I can't. I'm so sorry. But to be clear, all Inuit peoples have a very close bond with the animal from Alaska to Greenland. And before we cross the pond, the Canadians themselves have a little influence from the reindeer, as there is a French-Canadian drink known as caribou, which was originally made with reindeer blood and rye whiskey. But don't worry, if a Quebecer ever actually offers it to you, they probably substituted the blood for red wine. Though I'd probably prefer a caribou lou, a drink and song by Tech 9, which is more palatable with 151 rum, pineapple juice, and Malibu. Plus, you don't have to talk to a wannabe Frenchman. Now, as we go from North America to Europe, we mustn't forget to stop by Iceland, as most ought to do, as we get to explore our first connection to Christmas. While some may claim that eating reindeer on Christmas stems back to the time of the Vikings, it is a more modern tradition in all reality. Either way, though, I see no problem with it. Of course, so long as they aren't eating any of St. Nick's. Of course, we couldn't do a video about reindeer without bringing up Santa Claus, but have you ever wondered why his sleigh was pulled by reindeer of all things? Well, that's because in places like Finland and Arctic Eurasia, that's pretty common. You see, the reindeer had actually been domesticated at least twice, and this isn't an ancient practice either. The most prolific sniper to ever live, Simo Häyhä, actually traveled to most of his spots by reindeer-guided sleigh because that was the most effective way to traverse the snows of Karelia. And while on the topic of Russians, let's finally touch on that first sentence in the episode. Did you know some people drink reindeer piss? Yes, the Sami people of northern Scandinavia and Murmansk, as well as certain Siberian tribes, have traditionally been known to drink reindeer urine. But it isn't because it's sterile and they like the taste, it's because they get blasted on it. Yeah, whole new meaning to the term piss water, ain't it? You see, reindeer have a very strong digestive system, and it allows them to eat mushrooms known as fly amanita, which you probably recognize. This mushroom is super toxic to humans and in a lot of different ways, as there are several different agents in this red cap. Meaning, if you were to actually eat one, you get to spin the wheel on what the fuck is happening. Because you could be afflicted by low blood pressure, nausea, excessive salivation, sweating, loss of equilibrium, seizures, and even amnesia. All which come with the extra side effect of your neurons firing like the 4th of July and you spinning through every emotion like a Rolodex and tripping balls. But when eaten by a reindeer, they process all the nasty chemicals and it gets distilled and watered down through the kidneys. You see where this is going? Yeah, one of the things it doesn't are the psychedelics. Yeah, a reindeer that has eaten fly amanita practically pisses LSD. And this would be drank for many reasons. Some for recreation, some for ceremony, all of which are fucking disgusting. I am so sorry. But with that wonderful bit of knowledge, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. If there's anything you'd like to add, feel free to let us know in the comments below. This is probably one of the most animated I've been when it came to my script, and I am actually very happy about it. So, check out some older stuff if you'd like, and until next time, go outside, touch grass, hug your loved ones, drink water, and bye-bye.